with Michael Discioarro, New York City criminal defense lawyer. With us in studio, Tom Dupree, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under George W. Bush, and Shan Wu, former federal prosecutor and DOJ official. Gentlemen, thanks to you all for being here. Michael, start with you. Since you know and practice in New York in these courtrooms on a daily basis, Donald Trump said basically that the jury instructions were so broad, so bland, so milquetoast that it's not about indicting a ham sandwich, it's that you could convict a ham sandwich. Does he have a point?
I think he does legally based on Supreme Court precedent and simply telling the jury that they can pick up whatever theory they find available from the prosecution without having to prove each one. They can basically, it's a buffet they can choose from. I don't think this case survives on appeal if there's a conviction. It also makes the case extremely difficult to defend, because if you're defending against multiple theories, then you have to be ready to present defensive evidence on those theories. So this is I'm on record as saying this is a jury instruction that we haven't seen in a while. I haven't come across it. I've spoken to a lot of people, a lot of appeals attorneys, and they're on the same ilk. This is a bizarre jury instruction.
Look, and there's people who are very unhappy about this jury instruction, and since it's cable news and we're on verdict watch, there's hours and hours of punditry, and there's people who are very happy about this. Andrew Weissman from MSNBC a little earlier today. Take a listen.
You know, I have like a man crush on him. He is such a great judge that it's hard to see that the jurors wouldn't have the same impression. I mean, you just keep on thinking, if you looked in a dictionary for like judicial temperament, that's what you get.
Shan Wu, is there a danger in the judge becoming effectively a player and a political player in the trial?
Oh, absolutely. But of course, the million-dollar question is he really becoming a political player in the trial? I don't think he has been. I think he's been very, walking the line with his rulings and such. I also disagree on the jury instructions. I think there have been jury instructions with this type of case, which allows the jury to choose sort of this buffet idea of what was the unlawful means as well as the objective crime. So I think there's precedent for that, actually.
So when we put it up on the screen, right, there's 34 counts, 12 involving checks, 11 involving business records, 11 involving invoices. And falsifying those, if that's done, is a misdemeanor. You have to get to a felony by saying there's an underlying crime, meaning either federal election, state election, or a tax issue. Tom Dupree, I think about what we said initially, which is this would have never been prosecuted or even investigated had it not been a former president who was very unpopular in a Democratic state. Can local prosecutors now around the country, is it open season on presidents they don't like or former presidents?
Well, look, I think this prosecution will be historic in many respects, one of which is, to your point, I do think it has opened the door now to at least entertaining that possibility. And when you look at the map of America, you look at so many red states, so many red jurisdictions, you look at jurisdictions where you have crusading DAs of a conservative bent wanting to make a name for themselves, it doesn't take, kind of a great legal mind to come up with some theory on which you could bring an indictment, either against a former president, members of the former president's family. And look, maybe the charges will stick, maybe they won't, but you'll have made a name for yourself. You'll put the fear of God into that person. And if that person is running for re-election or running for some office, you keep them off the campaign trail. So let's hope that this doesn't become a precedent. But I think the real dangerous precedent potentially has been set.
Yeah, I think you have to distinguish, though, between a legal precedent and sort of a precedent-setting decision to do. So I think historically, there has not been a legal reason why they can't do this, but it's been kind of like the protocol.
It's a norm.
It's a norm. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a norm. So I think the solution to this, Leland, though, it would be a very bad solution, in my opinion, to have a legal safeguard for it, such as the Supreme Court weighing in saying former presidents can never be prosecuted for anything. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's a question of, is this a norm-busting situation, and will this become a new norm or not? But I don't know that there's a legal solution.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.